This is how to build a killer brand in one of the most brutally competitive niches. Watch closely because this is one of the key opportunities that most e-commerce businesses ignore or chicken out on. Don't let fear keep you from success. What makes a good Amazon listing or e-commerce product page that has the power to rank on page 1, convert like crazy, and get business soaring to the stratosphere? The best brands, product pages, and Amazon listings start with this key step before they ever get to keyword research or copywriting or photography or any of that. I'm putting my 10 years of Amazon experience building over 4,500 Amazon listings to walk you through my proven process for building an Amazon listing. Now, I have videos that talk about my Amazon listing process, but those are high level. In this series, I'm going to show you exactly how to do every single step of the process to create a winning Amazon listing. And I'm not letting myself off easy. I've chosen a highly competitive category with a product that has virtually zero differentiation. Like I said, it's brutally competitive. I'm not letting myself off easy. It's a single ingredient dog treat. One ingredient means that all of my competitors are selling virtually the exact same product. Sure, we can differentiate on size or manufacturing processes or where we source from, but that's about it. It's really all about brand building, clarity about how we're positioning this product, and doing all of the steps to perfection so that we can give this the best chance of success. Let's build a brand together. In today's video, we are starting where everyone must start, whether you're launching your first product, 50th, or 1,000th. And that is with customer research. We need to gain incredible clarity on exactly who our customer is, because this is going to lay the foundations for all of the other pieces that we put on top of it. It's going to help us select the right keywords. It's going to inform our design strategy. It's going to influence the tone that we take with the copywriting. Every single decision needs to be taken to speak directly to this customer. So today we're getting laser focused on customer research. By the way, you can get my free customer avatar worksheet in the link down below. I'll also have it written here on the screen. Go ahead and grab that, and it will help walk you through this whole process so that you make sure that you set your Amazon listing, your product pages, and your e-commerce business up for success. We really need to know exactly who our customer is, not some vague blob of a human with a massive age range and a ill-defined personality. I'm talking about a clear picture of a person. You know what they wear. You know their guilty Instagram pages that they love to scroll through. You know what wakes them up in the middle of the night, and you know their go-to remedy to be able to fall back asleep. This is the level of depth of understanding that we need in order to truly target and understand our customer. And one question that I get asked all the time is, Emma, all of this is great, but what if I don't have customers? What if I am launching a new brand? I've never sold this before. How am I supposed to figure out who my customer avatar is? And this is a great question. So that is where we are going to start. Let's say that you have an idea for a product or category that you want to enter. You just aren't sure exactly who to sell it to. One way of being able to choose who your customer avatar is to look at the current options and to see who is currently being ignored. So for example, in this fictional brand that we're going to be building over the course of this series, I have chosen Bully Sticks. Bully Sticks are a single ingredient dog treat, and most of the product pages are geared towards somebody who really cares about choosing a healthy treat for their dog, who is maybe concerned about sustainability, wants something that's long lasting, but it's all kind of like vague and generic. There really isn't any of the brand pages that I've seen, especially of the top sellers, that have any clearly targeted customer avatar in mind. And so from there, you can start to think about, okay, well, if all of these are very general, is there a group of people that I know that would be interested in this kind of product that is not well represented through the imagery, through the content, through the way that all of this is positioned, and I feel like I could build a really strong brand around serving them. So in this fictional case, I have chosen the millennial DINK, DINK. It stands for double income, no kids. So these are two people that are partnered together, living in the same household. They both have good jobs. They are established in their careers. They have elected not to have children. So they also have a lot of disposable income. They have at least one dog, if not more, and they see this dog as an important member of the family. It is a relationship that they care deeply about, that they don't mind and are happy to invest in. They also like to invest in experiences and really having high quality items from brands that they have trust in and that they feel excited about. Those relationships for them are very important. They live in an urban area. They are highly educated. They are into the latest health trends, and they want all of this for their animal as well. So this is the beginning of a customer avatar profile. Now, this still is not as specific as we would want it to be, but this is how you need to start thinking about things. So you identify an opportunity, and then from there, you start getting clarity about where you're going to direct your energy and target your attention. And so I have identified this general specific group of people. So we know the generation, we're not going any adult between the ages of 18 and 100. And we're not targeting any kind of person from any kind of education level or living in rural or urban settings. We are very specific. They're highly educated. They live in an urban area. You can probably assume some political leanings based upon some of these choices that they are making. All of these details, the more that we add on, the clearer the picture gets, and the more defined we can be about the direction that we're wanting to take this in. So your first step is to identify that gap, that opportunity, that group of people that isn't being spoken to. And I'm saying first step, but these don't necessarily have to happen in a sequential way. This is just the way that I am working through this fictional brand building exercise that we are doing together. It's really important that you don't purely rely on assumptions in this stage, and that you also go and collect some data. So if I'm looking up just general data about the millennial generation, I can see that as of 2023, which is a couple of years ago, but still somewhat relevant, the collective annual income of roughly 1.8 billion millennials worldwide is roughly $2.5 trillion, expected to exceed 4 trillion 2030. 3, who are millennials, they're now considered middle-aged. There are approximately 72.1 millennials in the US. They've had financial challenges because of difficult to enter housing markets and entering their careers around the same time as a recession. They value experiences over possessions, have a marked preference for and comfort with online shopping, aren't afraid to rent, fully embrace subscription services, could be interesting for a dog treat, which is something that is renewable, so something to keep in mind. Favor brands that have sustainability efforts and social responsibility, also a really important piece of our brand building to make note of. Self-care drives millennial spending habits. We can also assume that that self-care spending also extends to those in their immediate circle and surroundings. So if you have a DINK couple with a pet at home, that self-care budget might also include their pet as well. So this is just some general data. If your brand is already selling products, then of course you want to go and look at your customer data that you have, both the demographic data as well as the customer feedback. Another place that you can go if you don't have customers but you want to start to begin to figure out what customers are searching for, how different customers identify, go spend some time on social media, go look on Reddit around the categories that you're interested in. Like you could even go search millennial dink on Reddit and probably find some pretty interesting threads. You can go to TikTok and find people creating content that fall into that category. You can go to Instagram, you can go to Facebook, going to all these places and beginning to understand who your customers are, what their interests are, what they want, what they're spending time engaging with. And all of this is going to give you insights not only into who you're talking to, but it could potentially also be laying the foundations for people that you might want to partner with in the future for collaborations, be they micro influencers or larger influencers or other types of content creators, and just also good inspiration for future brand efforts. You can also look at reviews of your competitors, those reviews particularly that are saying, I wish it had this, or self-identifying details that can give you more insight into who your customers are. And then also recognizing that all of this work you do, just like every other piece of your business, is you are going to just have to accept that this is going to evolve over time. Maybe there's a whole other group that you hadn't even considered that really falls in love with your brand, and you need to decide whether to reorient yourself to better target them, or you just want to lean even more fully into targeting that original customer base because they also love your products. So recognizing that this is something dynamic, that it is something that is not set in stone, and that even if you hone in on your target customers exactly, those people are going to grow and evolve and change, and you are going to have to grow and evolve and change alongside of them. So the last piece, and where you can really accelerate all of this and go so much deeper, is with AI. I, in this example, use ChatGPT for this, but you can use whatever AI tool is your favorite. And I used this to take that initial customer profile that I began to build and go much deeper and begin to actually build out that customer avatar and that profile. So my first thing that I wrote is, I'd like to build a bully stick brand that's going to be marketed to dink millennials. They have high energy dogs that can be destructive at times and want a long-lasting, safe, healthy treat that they can give their dogs to be able to channel their energy in a more constructive way. What questions should I be asking about my customers to be able to understand them deeply and market to them effectively? So before I say tell me, I'm actually asking ChatGPT to help me identify what questions I should be asking. And they go into a whole list of things. So customer lifestyle and psychographics, pain points and needs, buying behavior, marketing and messaging. And then I ask, please create a customer avatar for this profile. They are highly educated dink millennials living in urban areas with at least one dog. They value quality and are okay with paying more to get something good. They celebrate their alternative lifestyle choice and enjoy going against the grain of conventional societal norms. So ChatGPT created the urban trailblazer dink millennial, Alex and Jordan, gender neutral to reflect a diverse audience. They are between the ages of 28 and 40. They live in urban areas like Brooklyn, Austin, Portland, Denver, and San Francisco. They have an average household income of over $100,000 a month. They are highly educated, master's degrees, professionals, entrepreneurs, or creatives. We go into the dog parenting style. So they treat their dog as a full-fledged family member. They own high energy breeds. They give specifics. Pay attention to those specifics. Border Collies, Australian Shepherds, Pit Bulls. These details are going to be so important when we talk about some of the next steps of your listing optimization and brand building journey. So commit those to mind because we're going to come back to them. Values and mindsets, pain points and needs, buying habits. So this even gives us some taglines for dogs who chew hard and humans who buy smart. Long-lasting chews for long-lasting adventures. Quality first, no BS, just great chews. I don't love all of these, but they are still interesting. And then from there, I can take this a step further. And this is going to get a little bit into competitor research, but it's still firmly rooted in our customer research, which is why I wanted to include it in today's video. And I have chosen the top 4 current best-selling Amazon listings for bully sticks. And I have asked ChatGPT review these for Amazon product pages and tell me the ways that they are failing to speak to and connect with this customer avatar. What are the biggest gaps and opportunities you see to be able to differentiate and win over Alex and Jordan as loyal customers? And so it goes through and it tells me each of the listings. It gives me a brief summary of where it may be missing out on both a presentation written side as well as a visual side. Gives me a list of opportunities to differentiate and attract Alex and Jordan. And from here, now I have a really solid starting point that I can use to get to know Alex and Jordan more deeply. This can orient me towards top influencers that I should be following and looking at and keeping an eye on. This is going to give me insights into really beginning to go deeply into the minds of my customers so that as I start to do some of my other research, including my competitor research, my keyword research, outlining everything, I will be able to do all of that through the lens of what is going to speak most strongly and compellingly to Alex and Jordan. So when the video is ready, I will be linking the next step in this process right here, but it's not yet. And so in the meantime, let's treat your up next recommendation like a lottery ticket, except with this one, you are guaranteed to win. YouTube is going to be recommending some video right here. I can guarantee that it is going to be awesome, that it is going to help you build a stronger e-commerce business. It's going to help strengthen your conversion potential and set you up on a path for success. So whatever it is, go claim that winning lottery ticket, click it, go watch whatever YouTube is recommending next. And in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Bye.